Wait, it's the worst? The only one I've seen is the worst one? Come on. Generic Control and the That Goes Moo here, back with another Kill Count reaction. Today we're doing the 3 Purge movies that were out 6 years ago that James did a Kill Count for, which is The Purge, which is a movie I've actually seen. I've actually seen the first Purge. The Purge Anarchy, know nothing about that one. And The Purge Election Year, know nothing about that one as well. I believe there's another one called like The Very First Purge or something like that, which is not actually the first Purge movie, but it's like it went back in time. I don't really know. You can check my reaction to Saw 3D and Jigsaw's Kill Counts. I'll leave my reaction out right up there. Also, link down below in the description. Also, in a place on my channel with all my other Kill Count reactions going in chronological order. Most of them are movies I have never seen before, and some of them I've never even heard of before. But I have seen the first Purge movie, haven't seen the other two. But we're doing a triple header, and then next week I guess will be Uncle Sam, and maybe I'll throw Never Hike Alone in there with that one as well. And then we have Jurassic Park, which that's not really a horror movie, is it? I don't think so. I think I've seen. I saw Jurassic World. How about that one? But we're doing a triple header this week. Shout out to the patrons. None of this would be possible was not for them $30 a month to get you all my reaction videos a day early. Also, if you're interested in this stuff, you like SCP, I recently started doing SCP content this past week, which is what special protocol or special containment protocol stuff, which is really mind-blowing to see how deep that stuff goes. But I'm really excited to watch the Purge movies because I enjoyed the first one, never got around to watching any of the other ones. But let's go ahead and jump into the kill count. All right.
Movie footage.
I recorded a 4-hour-long video last night.
Dead Meat makes no claim of ownership and simply uses the footage for purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support filmmakers and the art of filmmaking by watching the Purge in its entirety on home video.
I have seen this movie. Only this one though. This is the only Purge movie I've seen. So we're doing the other
Welcome
two.
To the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're starting a new franchise with The Purge, a dystopian film released in 2013. The Purge currently consists of 3 movies, all written and directed by James DeMonico, with a 4th film, the prequel to The First Purge, set to come out this year on the 4th of July. The premise of the Purge series is well known by now. Once a year in the United States, for 12 hours, all crime becomes legal in order to let human beings release the beast and get all their frustrations out. Although the Purge results in record low crime rates for the rest of the year and a booming economy for the country in general, the films tend to criticize the experiment as being cold, heartless, and way more brutal for poor folk, as opposed to the better off who celebrate the holiday behind high-tech security systems. The Purge is one of those rare movie series where the first film is generally regarded as the worst, maybe because the sequels do a better job looking at the societal
only one I've seen is the worst one.
And feature more interesting characters than the Sandin family of the inaugural film. But all of these films share at least one thing in common: a high body count. How many kills does the original Purge have? Let's find out and get to them.
No, it actually has a decent amount, but isn't it really just the family versus the one group? Unemployment at 1%.
In America, 2022. Sounds like a pretty sweet place.
Or does that just mean that nobody can afford to live?
With, of course, the one exception of title card. I mean the Purge.
2022. Wait a minute.
Then, while Claire de Lune plays
Jacksonville, Florida
credits, we see a montage of Purge kills throughout the years, from the first Purge in 2017 to the latest Purge of 2021. During this sequence, I count 26 kills. These montage kills are based on people who we see get shot or bodies that we see lying completely still. I don't include people who we see getting beat up. I went frame by frame to get this number, and boy was it annoying to do so. I also consulted other kill counts and body counts on the internet, and to be honest, they had all sorts of different numbers between them. So the important thing here is that it doesn't really matter. I don't care if your count is different, it's fine. Driving home to his gated community is James Sandin, played by Ethan Hawke, who just got word that he was the top seller of security systems at his company, probably from selling them all to his bougie neighbors like Mr. Kelly here, just one of many rich people looking for safety on Purge night. In fact, it seems like all the neighbors are real friendly to James and his lovely wife Mary, played by Lena Headey, who is one of the world's best people, and I love her so much. But neighbor Grace does let slip that a few people may be resentful of the Sandin family's success.
You know your husband sold a new security system to almost every home in this community.
Okay, it's a security system.
This neighborhood paid for that new addition on your home.
But listen, Grace, regardless of price,
you got
want some
a service
security for your home.
You got
as
protection.
We hear from the radio as James drives home, murdering people during the Purge is treated as just a fact of life in this world.
Pete from Northern Virginia. What's your Purge?
Northern Virginia.
I'm gonna hunt down my boss. That son of a bitch has it coming.
That kind of normalization continues after James gets home, an hour before Purge time, as Mary watches a TV doctor justify the practice.
The Purge not only contains societal violence to a single evening, but the countrywide catharsis creates psychological stability by letting us release the aggression.
You mean paranoia and anxiety?
James and Mary have 2 children they'll be looking out for on this holiest of holidays. First is teenage daughter Zoe, who likes to make out with her 18-year-old boyfriend Henry and do weird growling stuff with him. Cool. But when she hears her dad get home, she sends Henry on his way because Papa James ain't a fan of how much older Henry is than her. Their other kid is son Charlie, who likes to operate this weird voyeuristic camera attached to Sid's baby doll from Toy Story. He controls it from a little secret cubbyhole that's back behind his clothes in the closet. He's real proud of his barbecue baby mobile and his night vision camera that he tells his mom all about while she drinks wine like a mad queen. At dinner, she keeps drinking like she's bunkered down during the Battle of Blackwater, but maybe that's just to deal with her daughter making
Cersei.
Dinner. No
come on.
As Purge o'clock draws near,
is that actually wait a minute? That might be Cersei Lannister. Hold up, that might be the same actor.
The family huddles together as James arms the home security system, which seals their huge house shut like a submarine going on a dive. With that, it's Purge time. Most weapons are now legal. Some government officials are exempt from the rules because, of course, and for the next 12 hours, all crimes, including
how would
murder,
the laws work?
A-okay,
Could I get spicy 5-7 rounds?
America, a nation reborn. With a few loud sirens, Purge 2022 begins. The kids are in a sour
practice
mood,
blue
and Charlie
tips and
especially seems to have an issue with the
dots.
entire ethos behind the Purge. But James is a real Purge cheerleader
Dominoes
and
in a bowl.
necessary to make the country a better place. Although, judging by her concerned look, Mary's not quite as much a Purge devotee as her husband. Zoe leaves her family to be alone and gets a surprise hand over the mouth from Henry, who is stowed away in her bedroom to spend the evening's purge with her. After a spot of dry
that's
humping,
the
Henry
safest
pulls
place
himself
to
away
be.
and admits
Well,
that
actually, no, now he's trapped
so
in
he
there
can talk
with
to Zoe's dad about their relationship, choosing
on
tonight
Purge
to
night?
do so since James won't be able to just toss him out of the house. Uncle Phil's
But he could
style.
also just kill
Meanwhile,
you.
Charlie's driving his creepy baby Terminator around and sees his dad working in his office as a Purge feed plays in the background. The feed gives us 5 more kills for the list. One person gets shot to death in Phoenix, while the Staten Island feed shows 3 bodies on the ground, and a Florida feed shows another. By the way, this kind of kill counting is my least favorite thing to do. These are just nameless bodies. This isn't fun. When Charlie drives his Bernie baby into the safe room full of monitors,
so easy to lose
something much more interesting than a bunch of nameless dead bodies. An alive body running down the street and calling out for help.
Why won't anybody help me?
Charlie sees that ain't no
what?
one
How
in
did
his
you even get there?
about to help that poor dude out, and after hearing some distant gunfire, he decides to disarm his house to help out the unknown man.
No idea why he has that option.
Up as Charlie calls for the stranger to come inside. Even though James rearms the security system, the stranger manages to slide into home base just in the nick of time. Safe! James and Mary run in to find their son with the stranger, so James begins to pull out his gun. That's when Henry comes down the stairs and calls out James's name before whipping out his own gun and starting a shootout between the two armed men. James lands a hit and knocks Henry down before Zoe rushes out to save the dude who just pulled a gun on her dad.
Yeah,
During
why
the
did she
chaos,
save him?
The stranger manages to disappear, and James is straight pissed at Charlie for letting the dude inside their house. James puts his
He
wife
might
and son
have
in the
saved
safe
the
room
day,
and heads out to
actually,
find Zoe
because of
so
that.
the family can all be together.
I think he
Instead,
eventually
only
does,
finds
but
Henry's body dead on the floor and confirms the death by checking his pulse. Unless, Henry's squeezing a ball under his armpit or whatever bullshit y'all said was possible after that Scream 3 fuckery. But the Stansons have a much bigger problem on their hands than a dead Romeo. There's a big old group of well-dressed people in masks approaching their house and staring up into their security cameras. Not the primetime programming you want to see on Purge night. The leader takes off his mask
what stops
and
somebody from
introduces
just burning a
his gang
house
as a bunch
down?
of good and proper purgers who are ready to cleanse their souls through murder. He's mad that their target, the stranger, got away from them, and that the Sandins have apparently given him refuge inside their home.
Mr. and Mrs. The man you're sheltering is nothing but a dirty homeless pig. A grotesque menace to our just society who had the audacity to fight back. The pig doesn't know
actor
his
cast
place,
is
and now
great.
he needs to be taught a lesson.
Man, the Purge is a goddamn Ayn Rand wet dream world. He says that if the Sandins don't get
Like,
the stranger
that's a
before
very
the
good
backup of
casting.
weapons arrive, they'll break through the Sandin security system and murder the entire family alongside the stranger. And that's about it.
Toodaloo, Sandins.
The power is cut, putting the house on a backup generator, and James admits that their security system is mostly an aesthetic one.
It's not built for worst-case scenarios.
Why
Because
is
of
it
this
not?
vulnerability, James plans to just give the Purgers what they want, even though Charlie's not a fan of that plan. Sorry,
course not.
Charlie. As his parents hunt through their dark home to find the stranger, Charlie watches on the monitors as the Purgers dance around like they're in the opening credits of a sitcom. No, seriously, watch
wait,
this.
really? I mean, to be fair, but aren't they wasting their purge? They could be getting other targets right now.
Charlie uses his robot baby to find the stranger before his parents do, and, with some light flashes, gets the guy to follow the toy to safety inside his secret closet cubbyhole. Respect, little man. The lead Purger calls James over to the front door for a smarmy little chat. James assures him that this is just a misunderstanding and that he's a huge fan of the Purge and doesn't want to deny anyone that right. But that doesn't stop another Purger from yelling at him to hand over the stranger now! That bit of insolence gets him a bullet to the brain from the lead Purger, which is why I'm not calling him his credited character name of Plight Leader. Shooting your minions is
polite
never
leader.
polite, even if they are being rude. In
Is
any
it polite
case,
or
seeing
polite?
this psychopathic yuppie in action spurs James to redouble his efforts to find the stranger. Charlie continues his VR expedition, and there's a real cheap jump scare when Sister Zoe appears in front of the camera to tell him that she's gonna go hide in Charlie's secret cubbyhole.
But there's already a guy there.
And it does in no time, because James walks in on the stranger pressing Henry's gun to Zoe's head and asking for James to
also,
just
he's an
leave him
18-year-old
alone
with a
until the
gun,
night is over.
by the way.
James argues back that if he doesn't give the stranger to
Pistol,
the
no
Purgers,
less.
they'll kill his whole family.
We don't deserve this. I don't deserve this either.
Eventually, Mary shows up with her own gun, and the stranger tries to make a run for it, but James gets him down and incapacitates him with a gunshot to the stomach. Together, the parents duct tape the stranger and try to tie him to a chair. But the stranger fights back, so James directs Mary to take a letter opener and stab him in his stomach wound. Charlie pleads for his mom not to do it, but she follows orders, and the excruciating pain takes the fight out of the stranger enough for them to tie him to the chair. Still, between her son's disappointment and the stranger's very human eyes casting judgment, Mary begins to have second thoughts about this sacrificial plan.
It's so wrong. This is so wrong.
Charlie runs off,
Yo,
and Mary
what?
runs off to follow him because this movie
There's no
constantly has
winning
these family
in
members
this situation.
needlessly splitting up to inflate the tension and drama. Take for another example how after a short combo with her father, Zoe leaves to go off on her own as well. Great. The stranger sees this family
She's
drama
upset with
play
her
out
father
and
because
tells
the
James
dude
to
just
go
her
ahead
boyfriend
and
pulled a
save his
gun on
children.
Take me outside.
That act of kindness changes James's mind about the plan, and he tells Mary he was wrong. Charlie shows up
What was
again
the
because
boyfriend's
blocking in
plan?
this movie is completely random and pointless, and James gives him a gun and tells him to hide. Hide from what?
Does
Those
he
new
think
weapons
that, like,
have finally shown up for the Purgers, including a bunch of chains that they're now attaching to the doors and
girlfriend would
windows
be-
of the Sandin home. James's new
be
plan
okay
is
with
to
that?
defend their house, meaning the final half hour of this movie is going to be a home invasion flick. This final act kicks off with the lead Purger reprimanding the Sandins for failing to give them their Purge prey.
Clay, more Roomba, let's go.
That you are protecting exists only to serve our need to purge. So I bid thee farewell, sweet Sandin. Release the beast spores, let the killing commence.
A truck revs up and rips away the armored walls of their security system. So with one final loving look, the Sandins split up to kill some home invaders. The Purgers begin to infiltrate the house, firing off their guns and skipping down the hallway with machetes.
Play Welcome to the Jungle.
To good use. One of them does a big old jump scare on Charlie in the laundry room. But before he can kill the kid, he gets shot 5 times from behind by James with his handgun, putting down the first Purger of the film, but definitely not the last. James puts Charlie back in the safe room, then heads out with this crazy-looking shotgun that he uses to shoot another Purger to death with in short order. 2 down, plenty to go, Jimmy, my boy. He tries to shoot a couple
would
in the
imagine
rec room, but they manage to dodge his blasts and nearly take his head
like
off
personal
with an axe. As he's
defense
being
classes
choked with his
would
own
be
gun
like
against
a
the
big
pool
industry.
Table, James manages to grab a billiard ball and smash the male Purger in the head with it. Then he
That'll
shoots
hurt.
the axe-swinging Purger lady straight off the pool table with the shotgun, killing her. When the male Purger attacks James with a pool cue, Papa Sandin fights him off and kills him by smashing his head against a pinball machine a few times. That's got to be worth an extra ball at least. A new Purger flies through the window and tackles James,
For some reason.
He misses him a whole bunch of times with his handgun. James is able to fight him off and use the
Also,
lady
he can't
Purger's
hear
axe
anything
to hack him in
anymore.
the back, which I would count as a kill regardless, but just in case you're not convinced these 2 male Purgers are dead, James double taps both of them with a shotgun, ensuring their rightful places on the kill count. Right about now, you're probably rooting for James, so it's a shame that he rounds a corner straight into the lead Purger and a knife in the belly. The obnoxious prick of a lead Purger whispers douchey words into James's ear as he lays him on the ground, probably reciting some passages from Atlas Shrugged, before he exits the room and leaves James bleeding on the floor by himself. From his safe spot in the room with all the monitors, Charlie watches as the Purgers hanging out around their house get shot to death by the Sandin family's neighbors, who seem to be walking with quite a purpose towards the house. Good thing they're there, because
trying to
Mary
save
gets
them.
jumped by a couple of masked Purgers who tickle torture her and get ready to kill her with a machete before the neighbors open fire on this pair as well, killing them with a bunch of shots from their handguns.
Also,
The
only
neighbors are
one
catching up
handing
to
a
James's
handgun's
KD
kinda nuts.
pretty quickly. They get even more kills after walking away from Mary, since we hear them fire their guns into a couple of squishy targets off screen, along with
do we
some
know how
bodies
many?
falling. Mary recovers and finds her husband bleeding on the floor, and after crying out for her children, is joined by Charlie. That's when lead Purger shows up to finish the job off and murder the whole lot of them. But as you probably guessed, he gets shot to death before he's able to do so. This time the shooter isn't a neighbor showing up out of nowhere, it's Zoe showing up out of nowhere. I'm glad the lead Purger is dead and all, but the movement of these characters drives me insane. Oh well, at least the family is reunited just in time for James to die from that little prick's big prick with a knife. Yep, top billed Ethan Hawke just bit the big one and joined the kill count. What's even left to happen here? How about some payoff for that line from Grace earlier about the neighborhood being jealous of the Sandins? Because these neighbors aren't on a rescue mission.
But they just lost him.
Ours, not theirs.
Grace directs the rest of the neighbors to tie up Mary and the children so
Why?
they can all get murdered right now. Mary fights with a fervor.
Do you
for
really
her
need to
children,
do that?
since some would say her love for them is her only redeeming quality. Well, that and her cheekbones. But it's no use. They all get tied up anyway, as Grace explains why they need to vent their hatred on this purgy night.
You made so much money off of us, and then you just stuck it in our faces.
Lena Headey puts in
You
an
all
amazing
have
performance
tons of
as per
money.
usual, as she
You
begs
got
for
a
her
service.
children's lives. But these neighbors are just as blind to her pitch-perfect passion as the Television Academy, so they recite a prayer to the new founding fathers and prepare to kill the remaining Sandins. That's when the stranger shows up.
Hello.
Knocks one dude out,
Yep.
and after grabbing Grace, shoots Mr. Kelly to death with a handgun. Should have stayed in that secure home you paid for, Mr. Kelly.
Yep.
Apparently, the stranger managed to untie himself from the chair and I guess hide
Also,
during the big Purger
yeah.
battle that took place.
He
Now
got
he
shot,
directs
didn't
the
he?
neighbors to free the Sandin family before holding the duplicitous
And then
friends
just
at
shoots them all
gunpoint. He tells
anyway.
Mary that it's her choice whether or not he kills them, but Mary says no.
Oh, they were going to kill us.
Doesn't matter.
No.
We're gonna play the rest of this night out in motherfucking peace.
Cut to morning, where it's T-2 minutes until purge time is over. It must have been
And
a
then we're
real
just
awkward
watching.
night sitting around the table, huh?
Uh-huh.
When Mary gets distracted by her dead husband's body, Grace makes a final grab for the gun, but Mary ain't having it and
Nice.
shuts that shit down.
Did you hear what I said? No more killing tonight!
As Grace's
She was
nose
ready
bleeds like
for
a
that.
faucet, a loud siren blares, signaling the end of Purge 2022. Mary evicts the neighbors from her house and thanks the stranger for his help. He leaves with a simple message: good luck. Yeah, good luck finding
But
another neighborhood.
imagine
that's
hospitals.
good as school district, am I right? The movie
Ooh,
ends with the
do
Sandins
hospi-
looking
are
out over
hospitals
their
off
bloody
limits?
front lawn as a news broadcast reports that this has been the most successful purge yet. Now, obviously, such an insane premise for the film is gonna net us a bunch of kills, but did it break any kill count records?
It's a
Let's find
fascinating
out and get to the
idea
numbers.
that there's been a couple places that have. They always talk about, oh, a
I
purge
counted
law.
47 deaths in the Purge, which would be a new record if not for that bastard Belko. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
try to
Belko.
discern the genders of all those security cam deaths, so of the on-screen deaths that I could figure out, there were 11 dudes and 3 ladies for the victims. That comes out to this
Yeah.
pie chart, with the majority of the victims unknown.
Yeah.
Sorry. With a
Yeah,
runtime
you
of 95
possibly
minutes,
can't,
we had a
no.
kill on average just about every 2 minutes. Wowee.
Pretty good.
I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to the Purger
Oh, we don't get the
who
punchy
gets
sticks
hacked in the
anymore.
back, I guess, because it was something different. Dull machete for lamest
Also,
kill,
one-handed
take your
axe.
pick. Let's say this guy. Sure. Everyone just gets shot in these movies, man. And that's it.
America.
The Purge was released in 2013 and quickly became part of the cultural zeitgeist, with references to it everywhere.
Was it not
including
anything
an entire
before?
episode of Rick and Morty,
Nice.
which, no, I'm never going to kill count, so don't ask.
Oh,
I will
okay.
kill count the sequel, The Purge Anarchy, next Friday. But until
Or
then,
in this
I'm James
video,
A.
because we're doing a triple
This
header.
has been
Let's
the Kill
go.
Count. Thanks a lot for watching this week's Kill Count. I want to thank a
This
couple
is
of
great.
patrons like Kenny Seawall and Sam.
And here's like,
Phil.
I've seen this
I gotta ask
movie.
you all to check out this new project I'm in that just launched. It's called D&D, and it's a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. I play a bard in it.
D&D.
Just click up there. Up there?
Is
Just
it
click up
drinking?
there to
I know
take
they
you to
had
the link
something
with
that had to do with
information.
drinking.
There's also info in the description below. Episodes are going to come out every Monday and Wednesday. All right, be good people. Movie footage
Okay,
used in the kill count
this
is
is
owned
the
entirely by
second
copyright
movie.
holders. Dead Meat makes
I'm
no claim of ownership. It
completely
simply uses the footage
no
for
idea at
purposes
this
of
point.
Education, commentary, and criticism.
Which I'm
on
not
fair
sure
use. Please
what they
support
can do
filmmakers
differently
of
than
the
the first
filmmaking
movie.
by watching The Purge Anarchy in its entirety on home
It-
media or
like,
streaming services where
What
available.
is going to be the main mission? Because the other one was like, you know, protect the family, home invasion stuff, protect,
Welcome
you know,
to Kill
trying to
Count,
find the
where we
guy,
tally
he
up the
saves
victims
them.
in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today
What
we're
is-
looking at The Purge, Anarchy. Anarchy? How you
Anarchy.
say? How you? Oh, Anarchy. Released in 2014,
Huh?
just 1 year after the original Purge.
Really?
While the first
One-
Purge film followed a single well-off family bunkered down inside their house, Anarchy pulls back to show us a much bigger picture overall, following
New
various
founding
characters
father.
of more meager means and moving all throughout the city of Los Angeles on
Oh.
Purge night. The result is a much more kinetic and interesting film, buttressed by a solid cast that even includes Michael K. Williams of The Wire fame. But as far
I
as
don't
the
know who that
kills
is.
go, it's just like the first one in that it's a whole bunch of people getting shot. Here, I'll show you.
in California, a state with very strict gun laws.
The movie begins by reminding us of how life
And it
on
takes
the
place
Purge
in
is,
LA,
and
and
jumps
people getting
around
shot.
to introduce the characters we'll
Or maybe the
follow.
laws
First,
changed
Sergeant
in the
Leo
Purge world.
Barnes, who's gearing up to go on a personal mission against the man who killed his son in an accident, but walked free because of a prosecution error. Sounds like a real slow-ass motherfucking Jeff situation we got going on here. Then there's
He looks
Liz
like
and
he should be
Shane,
fighting
a
Captain
couple
America
played
in
by
an elevator.
real-life spouses Keely Sanchez and Zach Guilford. Liz and Shane have recently decided to separate, although Shane is having second thoughts about it. Finally, there's waitress Ava, who has a shitty
Oof.
job alongside her friend Tanya that they don't get out of until there's only 2 hours left before the Purge begins. Ava walks home where she gets harassed by her nasty landlord, Diego.
Take me up there with you tonight. Get a little protection, you know what I'm saying? Come on now.
Waiting for her in her apartment is her father Rico, who's
Oh,
sick
dude,
and needs
the Purge
medicine
as a
they can
woman
barely
must be
afford, and her daughter
terrifying.
Callie, who's a big fan of this anti-Purge activist Carmelo that she watches online. Carmelo argues that the Purge isn't an outlet for rage, it's a way to kill poor people as population control. He also says it's time to stop that shit.
This year, we will fight back.
Papa Rico tells his girls that he's checking in early for the night, but after telling them he loves them dearly, he doffs a fancy cap and sneaks outside, where he gets into a limousine waiting for him. Hey, buddy, if you can't afford your medicine, what are you doing taking a limo around town, huh?
Actually, I don't. It's not even a Maybach.
Liz and Shane get harassed in the parking lot by some cottonmouth
this is a
kids
tinted
just waiting
wheelbase
for
Mercedes.
Purge time to start. The gang's leader
Similar
is
to a
this
Maybach.
friendly fella named Young Ghoulface. Can't wait for his new album to drop. The couple has a well-framed argument that accents their impending separation, and then their car messes up, causing them to pull over. They get out to find the root of their mechanical issues, and listen, all of y'all, it was sabotage. And the saboteurs were Young Ghoulface and his ice cream truck gang. With Purge time drawing,
I mean, to be
Shane
fair,
and
if you're
Liz take
going
off
around
on
the
foot.
Purge.
The same emergency broadcast from the first film plays as Ava and Callie watch at
Also,
home.
how
Leo
does that
listens
work?
to the same broadcast on the radio
like,
while he drives around in this pretty
property
cool
and
budget
stuff.
Batmobile. Liz and Shane, however, are stuck on the streets downtown.
Where's
as
everybody
loud
at?
Purge sirens begin blaring. Would not want to be them.
Yeah, no.
You see all the various ways people are going to be spending the night. Sniping from rooftops, walking around in gangs, driving around in murder buses. This
Yo,
kind of
that's
shit is what the first
kinda
film
sick.
was missing. There are even murder semi-trucks, and the first kills of the film happen when one of them pulls alongside a pair of pedestrians, and this dude, Big Daddy, who will be the movie's big baddie, opens fire
is
on
he?
them with a machine gun. Leave it to a dude dressed
With
like
a
a
minigun.
patriotic butcher to really streamline the killing process.
Also, why would you use
Leo
an
drives by some
18-wheeler?
scenes of carnage, including a dude getting beaten
It's
to
very-
death on the side of the road, who I will go ahead and add
Not
onto the
nimble.
list. I'll also
Not
add
very
this dude
practical.
who Liz and Shane see get dropped from an upper floor of the building, because he's screaming as he falls, and then his scream stops. Sounds like a dead man to me. I'll also count this body they run into while trying to hide in a dumpster, since it looks pretty immobile and bloody. Although it could just be a sleepy homeless man who just got done drinking bottomless Bloody Mary somewhere.
Who's trying to
Ava
hide
and Callie
from the
get ready
Purge.
for a Purge night dinner, but when Callie goes to get her grandpapa, she finds a letter that he left them saying he doesn't want to burden them anymore with his expensive medical problems. So he's
what is
agreed
he-
to be a martyr for a wealthy family. They'll transfer $100 grand to Ava's account in exchange for getting to kill Rico and release the beast from the safety of their home. The kill ultimately happens
from the
off
safety
screen, but it'll still go on the list. You don't hang
wait.
that many tarps up and not kill
What?
dude, you know? Callie's understandably upset and wants to go save her grandpa,
And
but
that
Ava
they
knows
probably
that
sensed
it's too
the
late and that
extended
this is the way
wheelbase.
this world works. Oh, hold on. The movie cuts back to Leo driving around, and we see a body in the street that I have to add to the count.
Of course.
Man, while all these people are dealing with their lives, there are dead bodies everywhere. Ava and Callie
Who
get their
cleans all
grieving
this
interrupted by the sound of a Mack truck pulling up outside.
All
And
the
from their
industries
window,
that would
they
be
see a ton
created
of
because of
armored
this.
soldier-looking dudes approaching their building. That's about to be an issue for sure, but there's also a more immediate threat breaking into their apartment. It's fucking Diego, that asshole from downstairs, who is of course threatening these women with
Tonight,
Okay.
I'm gonna release the beast. It's my right.
Okay, dude, but maybe clear your throat first so it doesn't hurt to hear you speak.
It's my night to motherfucking purge.
Or not, that's cool
Okay,
too.
yeah, no,
Luckily,
he's just
the only
gonna keep
thing
yelling.
this gross motherfucker's able to do is lick Ava's face before he hears someone else entering the apartment and gets shot to pieces.
Good.
That trademark CGI Purge blood spurting out of all his bullet wounds. Hasta luego, Diego. The assailants are, of course, the armored men they saw outside, and these guys grab the ladies and radio to
why?
Big Daddy downstairs that they found exactly what he was looking
What
for.
are they? Why are
As
they looking for
drag
them?
the ladies from their homes, we see a number of bodies.
Why is there
along
more
the way,
sparks?
And see the kidnappers
Why is there-
shooting at someone
who-
off screen, who I'm certain they didn't miss. All in
Who
all,
are they
another
going
5
for?
kills are added to the count. The one person shot off screen and 4 visible bodies. Big Daddy's children pull the ladies out into the street right as Leo Barnes happens to roll
That's
up
a
onto
Charger.
the scene. After seeing them toss Callie
Oh,
to the ground,
wow.
he begins to have a debate with himself over whether or not he should do something.
Just drive.
Also, I like how he still has
His
the license
conscience
plate on
gets
the car
better of him, and he
because
steps outside the safety of his armored
laws
car
apply.
to go make some skull and crossbones. As Leo makes his way to the ladies in distress, Liz and Shane happen to come across his empty car. Seeking
Are they gonna
safety,
steal-
they hop inside the back seat right as the semi-truck opens for the Big Daddy bounty. Before they can make the handoff,
What do you mean?
though, Leo comes from behind and
The
starts
bounty.
gunning these dudes down. 2
They
are
have
killed right off
armor.
the bat by his rifle, while he kills a 3rd with a bunch of shots from his handgun.
Ooh.
He uses the truck for cover to shoot a 4th dude and finish him off with a headshot.
Kind of
Big
sick.
Daddy comes by to see what's up and gets shot as well, but as we'll see
Did he
soon,
miss?
he was not killed. Still, the area is pretty damn secure now.
Oh, I
and
guess he
Leo
went to save
reluctantly
them.
motions for Ava and Callie to come with him if they want to live. When they get back to the car, they find Liz and Shane in the back seat, but despite a bunch of hollering and gun waving, Leo lets them stay when they realize
he's just
Big
trying to
Daddy
save
is
everybody.
back up.
Yeah,
and
you
pretty
gotta
damn
go.
Big Matty. Leo drives away
Yeah.
right as Big Daddy opens fire, hitting
No
the car
way.
a whole bunch, but
No
thankfully
way.
nobody inside. As they drive past Carrie White standing on the side of the street, Leo asks Ava why armored dudes were at her building, and Liz
No
why
idea.
the fuck
Why?
she and Rodrigo Santoro were in those couple episodes of Lost. But when Kelly asks him why he was out on the streets in the first place, he hushes up and refuses to say. Then the car
'Cause
breaks
he's not
down
just
from
trying
Big
to
Daddy's
survive.
armor-piercing bullets, so Leo has to pull off into an alley. He tries to separate himself from these less capable citizens so he can go take care of his business. business, but Ava says that she can get him a car to use as long as he can safely deliver them to her friend Tanya's place. He reluctantly agrees.
Is it gonna be safe?
That was a real dick move, you know, walking away and then coming back.
Leo leads his new squadron out, and the first thing they run into is a woman on a roof with a megaphone and a rifle. Looks like she's already claimed at least 2 victims, since we see a couple of
definitely
bodies
kind
lying
of
dead
looks
in the
like
street. They
fully
avoid the
automatic.
lady's rage and then hear a bomb coming down the street, where they see young Ghoulface and his ice cream truck gang abduct a dude and drive off with him. And I don't think it's so he can enjoy a blue raspberry screwball. Shane steps off the curb right into a trap that drags him down the street.
Yo, what? They set up traps in the street? That's kind of crazy.
Everyone safe after shooting and killing.
Also, wait, does Leo use a Draco?
Easy prey. Shane shoots the trap to free himself, and the group is able to escape down another alley before more Purgers show up. The 4 protagonists who aren't proficient in firearms make proper introductions to each other and express
in this one you gotta
protecting them. But maybe they should do it a little quieter.
He's out here, armed to the teeth on Purge night voluntarily. That means he's trying to do something nasty.
I can hear you.
Callie tries to break through Leo's tough shell, and honestly,
maybe it's not a Draco. Maybe it's just
these two is probably the best part of this movie.
I'm guessing you're either a cop or a criminal, huh?
I'm guessing you're either a pain in my ass.
That's not a Draco.
Or a pain in my ass.
She surmises that he's out and about to get his
also, if anything's ever blurred, it's copyright.
Before it can go anywhere.
I'm gonna stop talking because you're being an asshole, okay? Not because you told me to shut up.
As they continue on, they pass by the body of a stockbroker named David, who was killed and strung up in front of a bank, the note around his neck blaming him for lost pensions. The Purge movies love to make socioeconomic commentary, even though they never really mastered the art of subtlety.
They blame
pensions
on one
9
guy.
more bodies to add to our list. There are 7 on the ground outside that big Mac Daddy semi-truck, 1 more body barely visible inside, and a 9th guy who jump scares the group before falling to the ground and whispering that they were just doing their duty as he died. These are the same peeps who invaded Ava's apartment building, and their high-tech monitors inside the truck include live feeds of the city's traffic cams, even though, as Liz points out,
I guess that's why you
traffic
need an
cams are controlled by the government. Callie says this truck must be the new founding fathers themselves, a theory further supported by Carmelo's logo painted on the wall, indicating that his group was behind the attack on this big rig. Another semi-truck rounds the corner, and the group hightails it out of there.
Wait, there's multiple different big rigs with miniguns in surveillance.
More dead bodies to add to the kill count. Don't know what happened to the 2 in the back, but the foreground body's getting shanked like a motherfucker. Leo sees a subway entrance he'd like to get to, but before they can, Stabby McStabberson finds them behind the wall. Luckily, Leo is able to subdue the guy in a stranglehold and eventually kills him.
Nobody's helping, by the way.
Hey, look, a death that's not from a gunshot. The Purge Anarchy is a whole new world with a fantastic point of view. They wind up down in the subway, and after Callie tells Leo that purging is wrong no matter what, and that killing won't help him with his issues, they find a group of vagrants hiding out from all the violence. Too bad this place is about to get Mad Maxian up in this bitch with these crazy death.
This is the flamethrowers.
The flamethrowing psychopaths at the helm chase down our heroes and the homeless alike. But I only see 3 deaths that happen for sure.
They're running a straight line. How do you miss?
Gunned down, and then, as if that wasn't enough, run over with the dune buggy. God damn! Another vagrant is shot to death in the background. The 3rd for sure death is one last homeless dude.
Of course.
Torched with the flamethrower. Because let's be real, if you show someone with a flamethrower, there's got to be a kill with a flamethrower.
Of course.
It's pretty much the law. Shane and Liz take a stand and shoot at the death buggy as they approach.
Vector?
Shane takes a shot through the shoulder that puts him down temporarily. The couple manages to rally like a frat boy.
I guess government weapons.
Shane shooting the driver and crashing the buggy.
Be out there looking for MP7s.
Liz lands a shot on a flamethrower gas tank and blows the whole thing up. I'll say it killed the 3 occupants of that first dune buggy, as well as the driver of the one behind them who flies through the flames.
Dude, just be out there like, ooh, MP7s, ooh, MP7s, ooh, MP7s.
Tanya's house, giving us some cool shots in the process. Some traffic cameras also get a cool shot.
And then they're gonna be hunted down because of that.
One of which veers off to go after them. The group gets to Tanya's house and is led into her apartment, where Shane is stitched up and everyone gets some food. Can't wine and dine Leo though. He's only interested in getting that car so he can enact his legalized revenge. But Ava is still super against it and breaks some bad news to him.
There is no car.
Damn, you'd think a guy named Leo would be better attuned to lying. Tanya's father and brother-in-law get back from checking the building, and things get a little weird. With Tanya's
Why is he in
sister Lorraine
uniform?
being pretty mean to her husband, and Tanya telling her to chill. They watch Purge Night on the news, where we had 2 more people to the kill count when they're shot to death during a Pittsburgh feed. Must have been a couple of Flyers fans. At least all this drama brings Liz and Shane closer together.
I'm a Penguins fan. That's okay.
Separated. When Tanya tries to lighten the mood by playing some music and grabbing her brother-in-law's dick, the only thing she manages to do is piss her sister Lorraine off enough to frickin' murder her. Apparently, Lorraine's husband had been cheating on her with Tanya, and Lorraine decided to put a permanent end to it on Purge Night. A little shootout occurs, but Sergeant Leo Barnes is a pro and ushers his group of charges out the door to safety. Leo checks outside the building and finds Big Daddy in the middle of a team huddle with his employees, telling them to kill the fuck out of Leo and save him the women. The group rushes outside and hops over a fence to get away, only to find that the young Ghoulface gang is there waiting for him. They knock out Leo, and he awakens to his entire group being held in the back of that ice cream truck. Young Ghoulface himself takes off his
I guess they're
mask,
kind of
and,
safe
hey,
now.
holy shit, it's Lakeith Stanfield, who's been having a very well-deserved hell of a career lately. He says
I don't know
they've
who that
just been
is.
picking up Big Daddy's scraps as a means to make money. Turns out they've been abducting
what?
people in their ice cream truck to sell to some fancy customers, and that's exactly what happens.
I figured
to our
that would happen a lot.
heroes right now. They're all ushered inside and forced to their knees just in time for the curtains to open, and they're the show. They find themselves on stage in front of scores of rich people applauding their presence. This is one of the more intriguing sequences of the film.
This is honestly how it would be, though.
Off one by one to the highest bidders in the room. Eventually, they're all sold to these human hunters as the most dangerous game.
The most dangerous game. I remember that book.
Suit up.
Our protagonists are once again ushered down a hallway and wind up in a dark room called the hunting grounds with a couple of other huntees. The hunters have a variety of weapons and night vision goggles to give them an edge, as the rest of the rich folk watch from behind a bulletproof window.
So basically, they just want the biggest advantage possible, but they're gonna have fun.
To the new founding fathers. And with that out of the way, the hunt begins. It's a dark scene, but I'll do my best here. We see one body in the background as Leo tells the rest of the gang to stay in place while he tries to gain the upper hand. We do hear a bunch of gunshots go off, but I can't be certain they're all finding their targets. Unless I see them, that is. Like the case with this running dude who shot straight through a wall. Oh yeah! Leo kills his first pair of hunters with the Hearst brothers, two rich heirs whose daddy bought them people to purge. He beats the first brother down a bit before killing him by breaking his neck. Then after the second brother runs out and
parent
misses
be
Leo
watching?
a full bunch, he is also bested by Mr. Barnes, being taken down and murdered with his own gun. Welcome to the revolution,
and now
you
the
bougie
other
bastards.
side.
Leo throws on a pair of night vision
and now
shades,
the prey
and we see
have
another
weapons.
3 victims to add to the list. One person getting stabbed to death in
This
the far
is like
background,
Gladiator.
and 2 bodies on the ground separate from the Hearst brothers, possibly victims of all that earlier gunfire. Leo
What is the
gets
third
attacked by
movie
the
gonna be
Hanover
like?
Sisters, a pair of huntresses well known for their blade skills, making them the
Really?
Katana and Melina of the Purge world. After a short fight, he breaks
yeah,
one of their
Two
necks
Bad
against
Guns
the
kind of
sculpture,
beat
and
those.
then, after getting the other on the ground, shoots the second sister as she struggles to get up. He returns to his de facto Purge Night family and gives them weapons and goggles. Together, he and Liz shoot another hunter, Papa Hearst, as he approaches them in his stupid hunting outfit.
so he
You
didn't
wore the
see.
wong kind
Okay,
of vest,
well.
dude. But these rich people don't like to.
How are they
play
not
by
gonna
the rules,
armor up?
You know, they're rich people. So they turn on the lights and call in a team of fixers to clean this mess up.
Fixers?
While the group despairs over their new odds, Shane gets lit up by a whole bunch of bullets by a dude who Leo immediately returns fire on and kills. Unfortunately,
Why didn't you go
this
for
lightning
Leo?
strike kills Shane, which has really got to suck for Liz, seeing as their relationship was just on the mend. It's actually an
it was on the
emotional
mend?
moment in a series that usually has a hard time creating them.
What does I
So
watch?
good job, Anarchy. Some alarms go off to warn the rich people that Omar coming. After a flash grenade is thrown and blows up, 3 security guards get gunned down, but not by Carmelo himself. Instead, it's by one of his men, who we know from the original Purge and that French Algerian beach, because it's the Stranger, motherfucker! He and the rest of Carmelo's movement burst into the hunting grounds and quickly dispatch of another couple hired guns dressed like waiters. Hope the paycheck was worth it, guys. With the battle underway, Carmelo makes his grand
this is the guy. Sure, is it? And these are the people that kind of keep it going.
And motherfuck the Purge!
Callie fangirls over him for a minute since she wasn't able to see him at VidCon, and then Leo tries to get his remaining group to go.
No
but
way.
Liz is too upset about Shane's death.
I want to purge.
So, after the stranger promises to take care of her, Leo, Ava, and Callie run out, with Leo still determined to take his revenge. Carmelo's forces arm Liz and begin a forward assault, really putting the pro and proletariat.
also,
as they gun down
no
another
ear
couple
protection?
of waiter dudes fighting for the bourgeois. Leo hijacks a car in the parking garage, and even though there's less than an hour left to the purge, he's convinced he can still make it. So he speeds off as day breaks over Los Angeles.
Dude, the
When he arrives at
anxiety.
his final
Imagine
destination,
doing
he tells his
something
companions
wrong to
what we've
somebody
already surmised,
and
that the
having
dude
an
inside
enemy
this house,
and
Warren
knowing the
Grass,
Purge
was a
is
drunk
coming.
driver who
Knowing that
killed
you
his
might be a
son, but
target.
got off on a technicality. But after everything we've seen this movie, I think it's safe to say that that is the only thing Leo Barnes and slow-ass motherfucking Jeff have in common. Callie tries one last time to convince Leo not to do this, but he snaps at her and tells the ladies to stay in the car while he goes inside. Having disabled the security system discreetly last week, Leo goes to wake up Warren gently with a nice little muzzle, a gun muzzle. He throws Warren across the floor and even does the same to Warren's wife, then yells at Warren for what he did while Warren's wife pleads to let him go. After a lot of crazy yelling from Leo, the scene ends, and it cuts to outside the house where Leo steps into the sunshine with blood all over his face. But ain't no time to enjoy that vitamin D when you're getting shot twice like Leo does. The shots that knocked his ass to the ground came from who else? Big fucking Daddy, who followed Leo to this obvious location
What about
after
the
learning
girls?
who he was from his license plate. Big D tells Leo that there's an unwritten rule
I
of
pointed out the
Purge.
license
Don't
plate.
save lives. Tonight we take lives. We make things manageable for us.
He says that since citizens haven't been killing each other enough, the NFFA has resorted to killing people themselves in order to keep the poverty levels down. Since Leo tried to be a hero, Big Daddy's gonna have to kill him.
Blessed be America.
And then he's gonna get shot by the girls.
Reborn.
Or the
And
guy
shot
that
in
he
the
didn't
head.
kill.
Yeah, I mean, we all pretty much figured this would happen, but did you know Warren Grass would be the one to pull the trigger? Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Since you rightfully assumed Leo didn't actually kill him
Yeah.
in the scene cutaway? Okay, that's
Makes
fair.
sense.
Ava, Callie, and Big Daddy's men all arrive on the scene super armed, but then
But it's
loud
after the
sirens
Purge.
flare, signaling
Yep.
the end of Purge 2023.
Dude, the
Together,
vectors.
Ava and Callie load Leo into Warren's car, and Leo and Callie hold hands in the back seat as Warren pulls up to a hospital.
Yeah,
The
what are
movie ends
hospitals
with
like?
Hard advertising the next Purge, like it's goddamn Christmas or something.
Also,
I guess these
March.
movies
They
are
do
like
these in
Christmas
March?
for those of you who like big numbers. So let's unstuff some stockings.
Well, wasn't the
and
other
get
one in
to
July? What's that, James?
65 people died during the Purge Anarchy, a new second-place record. Again, gender distribution is hard to know for sure, but I think we wound up with 54 men and 6 women.
There's
with
a lot
5
left,
kills I just couldn't
like,
discern.
on
that makes,
TV.
This pie chart. Yay, pie charts! With a runtime of 103 minutes,
the
we
pie
have still
charts
on average
hang around, don't they?
1.58 minutes. Purge can't stop, won't stop. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to the homeless guy who gets lit ablaze.
Oh, yeah,
Since I always
burning.
love a good fire stunt, and you know, it's not
True.
somebody getting shot. Dull machete for lamest kill can be a homeless dumpster guy, sure. And that's it. The Purge Anarchy came
guess
out
that
in
counts.
2014 and helped establish the franchise
So,
as a big name
2015
in
was the next one, or
contemporary horror.
no?
The series would get even more zeitgeisty with 2016's The Purge
Okay,
Election,
2 more
which
years.
is up next Friday. But until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this week's Kill
Doing
Count.
this
I wanna
triple
thank a
header,
couple
let's
of
go.
patrons like Michael Nicholson and John Lechner III. Oh, you fancy, huh? I just got back from a 4-day trip to Vegas to celebrate my dad's birthday.
Oh,
And in
that's
2
cool.
days, I'll be going down to VidCon for 3 days. That is a lot of days not to be working when I usually spend every day working. So
Same.
on Sunday,
Hi.
instead of a new video, I'm just gonna do a live stream of Alien Isolation. Be
Nice.
good people. Movie
Yeah,
footage
no,
used
that's
in
why
the kill
when
count is
Magic
owned
Vanilla
entirely by
uploads
the
a
copyright.
3-hour and
Dead
44-minute
Meat
long
makes no
video,
claim of
and every
ownership
single
and simply
person is
uses
like,
the footage
do
for
this, do
purposes
this
of
now, do this
education,
now.
Commentary and criticism under fair use. Please
I
support
spent like
filmmakers and the
70
art of
plus
filmmaking
hours
by watching the
a week
Purge election
working
year
on
in its
videos and live
entirety
streaming,
on home media or
reading
streaming
comments,
services where
making
available.
thumbnails, rendering videos. Doesn't give me a whole lot of time to
Welcome to the Kill Count,
do a
where we
4-hour
tally up the
video on a
victims in all
whim.
our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at the Purge election year, released
Also
in
the shirt he's wearing.
2016, an actual election year in the U.S. So you know this movie had some bomb-ass SEO. Election year takes place nearly 2 decades after the first 2 films and depicts a country torn
2
in half
decades,
over
like
the Purge.
the
While it
40s?
continues to show the street-level perspective we saw in Anarchy,
50s.
election year also explores the political machinations behind the Purge, increasing the stakes from the lives of a few characters to the very moral fiber of the United States of America. Like the other Purge movies, election year also has an
I've been
insanely
there.
high body count. Can this populist
I've actually
newcomer of a
been to
film beat the
Lincoln's Memorial.
establishment Belko experiment for most kills on this channel? Let's find out and get to the
It
election.
might.
The kills. The election year kills.
Oh.
The movie begins with
T-Rex.
Mark Bowling glamming out before Ray Davis's bass tones take over. Since this funky purger's got a real type of thing going down, getting down. He explains in a real weird voice acting delivery.
My Purge playlist. I put a lot of thought into it, especially this final tune, as it will be the last song you'll ever hear.
He sounds like an exasperated side character on The Simpsons, but this dude is no Gil Gunderson. He's a sadistic home invader who tells the mother of this unfortunate nuclear family that she has to choose the one family member who gets to live. The rest are all
Why
getting
does she
googly-eyed to death. As we'll see,
Googly-eyed?
Mama Roan must have chosen her bespectacled daughter Charlie to live, so I'll go ahead and put the rest of the Roan family on the count right now, even though their deaths
he
don't
listened
have
to
them
it,
on screen.
so
Instead, the cold open ends with a card
18
putting
years
us 18 years in
later?
the future, which is a bizarre fucking choice to me for reasons we'll see shortly.
Yeah, why
now
18?
Charlie Roan, who you can tell is the same character because of her glasses, is a senator running for president on an anti-purge platform, a popular
wonder
issue
why.
for the public after they've learned more about the new founding fathers' corruption. There are even outspoken anti-purge
Makes sense.
activists like this dude, Dante Bishop, the character formerly known as Stranger, who is yet again played by Edwin Hodge even though he looks the same age. But fuck it, make it 18 years later. Charlie is
well.
played by Elizabeth Mitchell, aka Juliette Burke, Sawyer's true love. Don't at me, skate shippers. She's running
What?
against NFFA candidate Minister Edwidge Owens, who watches a report
Minister.
about her rising poll numbers with the rest of the party on a kick-ass George Washington portrait television. By the way, the
Wow.
report mentions that the NFFA has been in power for 25 years. So here's the Purge timeline. The NFFA wins the 2016 election and starts the Purge the next year in 2017.
One
The first
year
two
later-
movies take place during Purges 6 and 7 in 2022 and 2023, and it's now
Yeah.
around 2041, making this Purge number 25. Fucking nailed it. nailed it. Hey there, future James
is he
here
wrong?
saying I didn't actually nail it. As it turns out, election year actually takes place 18 years after the 6th Purge, the one in the original movie, making the year 2040 and the Purge the 24th one. So, sorry, my bad. And party boss Caleb Warrens has decided to celebrate the Purge's silver anniversary by lifting the restriction on government officials. In other words, this year, you could purge a presidential candidate with impunity. During a presidential debate where Owens defends the Purge, Charlie rails against it as a religion of murder.
The Midnight Purge Mass, where our great NFFA leaders gather together and slaughter innocents.
You know, actually, when you put it like that, how the fuck's the country even going along with this shit? Charlie Rose shows herself to be a firebrand populist who gets the audience to their feet and all but crowd surfs among them. That kind of behavior is vexing for her head of security,
I don't know.
Sergeant Leo Barnes? Frank Grillo again, looking the exact same as he did in Anarchy.
18 years later.
Again, took place 18 years prior to this. Why did they do that if they wanted to use the same characters? How old is Leo Barnes? Lest you think
that
the
makes
series
sense.
is abandoning the ground level view of Purge Night, Charlie's campaign
they could have made it not 18 years. They could have made it
class Joe
6
Dixon,
years,
a dude
10
who
years.
owns a deli frequented by EMT Laney Rucker, played by Get Out's Betty Gabriel. Joe's assistant Marcos is a huge Charlie chap and says she could win if she takes Florida, but Laney is all like, no, and thinks the senator is full of shit.
Oh, she's running for president,
Joe likes Charlie, but thinks she's unlikely to win, while the fourth dude in the deli isn't even paying attention to politics.
I'm thinking about waffles and pussy. All I ever really think.
Joe gets a call from the Purge movie even more commentary on American society, so he hangs up and complies.
The damn insurance company, they just raised the premium on my Purge coverage by thousands the day before the damn Purge.
He don't have that money, so he resolves to protect the store himself since all his livelihood is in it. He wants to guard against rotten apples like this mean girl Kimmy and her nameless friend who like to knock shit over and fly swat each other's butts. Laney steps in on the conflict since she has some street cred, being formerly known as Pequeña Muerte, the Little Death.
The Little Death. Motherfucking hero.
But now Laney's all like, don't do drugs and stay in school, so Kimmy leaves with some serious side-eye. Despite the announcement about government officials being fair game, Charlie refuses Leo's suggestion to get a safe house since it wouldn't be very populist of her. And already I just want these two to fuck. Talk about sexual tension. Leo does his best to secure Charlie's
how did he get this
with another
promotion?
member of the Roan campaign, Chief Cooper,
Or maybe
and on the
he's
night of the big event,
teamed up with
Leo
her
knocks
because
down
they're
the
both
house
against
and they all
it
settle in
after
for some
seeing
quality Purge Night programming
the Big Daddy
that
guy.
reminds the viewers no one is immune tonight. Must be sweeps week. Sirens blare all around our nation's capital as the Purge officially begins. Charlie pulls Leo away from his security buddy Eric, or should I say Bluetooth Eric, and orders him to have a drink with her. Just fuck already. The drink is just water, but they still open up and talk about their equally tragic backstories. Leo says he nearly made a huge mistake on Purge Night and believes in the senator's mission to get rid of the holiday. Meanwhile, Laney is spending the Purge Night, as always, driving around in a triage van with her friend Dawn, looking for people they can help out. Like this guy, who jump scares them at their window and, now there's an arrow in his head. Categorize him as unlikely to live regardless of medical
To be
care.
fair,
They drive
Arrow's
around
pretty
with a
good at
whole
going
shit ton of
through
dissolves and witness
soft
heinous
armor.
acts of violence, like an alleyway guillotine exhibition.
But so is
that looks
5'7" by
it's Laney,
28.
its third victim of the night. Those bros and that alien are loving it. They also see some metal masked homies driving around with 2 of their 3 human hood ornaments looking pretty damn dead. So let's add another couple to the list here. And over at the Lincoln Memorial, oh come on, who slaughtered all these people? This is a bitch to count. I think I see 16 bodies.
Yeah, no,
and
that's
if not,
tough.
let's just pretend that's how many there are, since
Yeah,
Abel's
I'm not
the
gonna
16th
argue with you.
president, and that's fun. Over
Sure,
at the
yeah.
deli, Joe Dixon
Symbolism.
is up on the rooftop, click, 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 ready to defend his business from any looters. Marco shows up to pledge his help, and although Joe tells him no at first, he might want to reconsider
don't
after
do
a
this
rogue
alone.
electrical parade float finds its way from Main Street to Joe's Avenue. The occupants are Kimmy and her party girlfriends,
Really?
Miley Cyrus and yelling up at Joe that they gonna get a candy bar from his shop and then burn the place to the ground. Marco
That's not
shoots
good.
Kimmy's ear off, and the girls take
Really?
off,
An ear?
promising to be back later.
How hard is
maybe
hit somebody
let
in the
Marco
ear?
stay with you, Joe. Back at Charlie's home, Chief and Bluetooth Eric are up to some shady shit, manipulating the security cam footage and telling other guards to go take a break from their duty. A trio of guards outside join the kill count when they're all shot in the head, along with another trio of guards that Leo sees killed on the security cams after he quickly figures out the Saw 2 style trick that Chief was trying to play with the recorded footage. The murderers are a group of armored guys wearing white power and Nazi patches that Bluetooth Eric lets into the house, because, you know, there's some very fine people on both sides. Inside,
And
they
they're
shoot another 3
supposed
guards
to be on the
who
same
are just
side.
standing there watching
Okay.
TV. So, you know what? Maybe that one's kind of on them. Leo rushes into action, giving the senator
Man, you
a
gotta
vest to wear and
really
counter
be a
and
good
infiltrate.
coworker
Bet a
for
kiss
these
would
to
make
be,
things
like,
better.
safe.
Instead, they go through Leo's secret escape
You know,
hatch
like, if
under
you're
the
hanging
rug
out
and
with
make
these
it
people-
outside to an alley. Now, maybe some celebratory lovemaking? Nah, no time for that. Leo has to take out his other little stabby thing and shank a couple of fucking Nazis with it after beating the shit out of them.
Cool.
Good job, Leo. I hate DC Nazis. Head Nazi Earl Danziger is pretty pissed about the senators escape and leaves in a huff right before one of his dudes sees Charlie and Leo from the window and shoots at them. He's able to hit Leo in the shoulder and takes him down.
How many times are you gonna
Leo
get shot?
takes out his cell phone and connects to a briefcase bomb in Charlie's office. Leo detonates it and kills a handful of people in the room, including Bluetooth Eric, Chief, and 2 of the 3 armored Nazis.
Eric was in on it?
Later, we find out one of them lived. On their way through the streets of DC, which is burning like it's 1812 all over again, Leo and Charlie see a Purge sanitation services truck telling folks to bring out the dead, and it looks like they've already got 5 bodies collected.
Those
At least that's how many aren't
safe either.
After the truck drives away, the 2 of them run away holding hands.
I guess the answer to the question is who cleans this up.
They're pursued by a drone that looks straight out of a special edition Star Wars movie, but after Charlie intimately whispers to Leo that is flying right behind them, he shows her that he knows how to use that gun of his. Bullseye, Sergeant. Leo shows off his shooting skills some more when they're attacked by a Captain Spaulding cosplayer and a trio of his Purger friends. Leo shoots them all to death after getting some solid assistance.
That's a presidential candidate, isn't it?
Flaming 2x4? What is this, the ECW? But then more costume Purgers show up and tase the crap out of Leo and Charlie, knocking them out. These new assailants on this Purgy night are some murder tourists who were shown in a news
one time a taser actually
earlier in
works.
the movie. They're rich foreigners who visit the U.S. on Purge night to take advantage of the legalized murder.
We like Americans. We're very excited.
I guess it's like how us Michiganders would head over to Canada on our 19th birthday to legally drink. Only, you know, just a little more murdery. These fair weather flag flyers get all up in Leo and Charlie's faces just
I didn't know
down the
James
street
was
from
in
Joe and
Michigan.
Marcos.
We love you, America. America is the greatest country in the world.
So before they can make do on their threats of torture, they're lit up by the deli boys just unloading their guns on them. In the end,
Somehow
after
they didn't
all
get hit?
shot, I count 8 dead bodies on the ground
Wow,
around Leo
great
and Charlie.
shots.
Joe and Marcos
No
approach the
ricochets or
senator and
bounces?
bodyguard to tell them, hey now, it's all right. They all go back to the deli where Leo secures the area and Charlie thanks her heroic constituents. At Joe's prompting, Marcos tells her that she needs Florida to win, as if that hasn't been painfully obvious since we all learned what a hanging Chad was. Charlie wants Leo to take his jacket off and get his bullet wound cleaned up, but he tries to argue that he's fine.
Is there an exit wound?
Want me to take it off?
Yes,
is it through
please.
and through?
You'll both be so much happier. Marcos fixes Leo up, and then the goddamn Glitterific gang is back. With more tools, weapons, and pigs to fuck shit up. Joe calls up Lainey for help, but she's busy tending to Rondo, the only survivor of an attack that left 5 bodies on the ground around her triage.
Yeah,
Add them up, add them up. Luckily, after
We're
the candy
48
girls
minutes
rev up
in
the
and we're
buzz
already
saws
past
to
the
start
second
cutting
movie, I
through
think.
The deli's metal barrier.
Very close
Lainey
to it.
gets the message and shows up to save the day. She speeds down the street and just plows right through Kimmy.
How
and
are
her
they
friend.
that
The hit and
unaware?
run only kills her friend right away, but Lainey gets out of her van with a shotgun to emulate Leo Barnes with a kill streak of her own, complete with a side of pork and an appropriately brutal final shot for Kimmy herself. There goes her face.
Yep, that'll do it.
There's back, bitches.
Everyone
Okay,
goes
well.
outside to go with Lainey in her van, with Joe only agreeing to leave his deli unattended after Marcos promises him they'll rebuild it no matter what it takes. While driving around, somehow Charlie looks out her
I guess he
window
doesn't
to
have
see
any insurance
this,
at all.
I guess. Looks more like a dream or something, but regardless, we see 4 more bodies to add to the list, hanging from a tree there. Then the Nazis, who are flying around in a Nazi copter, track the van down through the bullet lodged in Leo's shoulder and open fire
Wait,
on
the
it with
bullet has a
mounted
tracker?
minigun, not machine gun, as I learned in the last kill count. When the attack is over, we've got another body to add to
'cause
the
people
list.
were-
The dude Rondo, who was being taken care of by Lainey. The van
Is
pulls under
it
a freeway
Gatling gun,
overpass
kind
to lose
of?
the chopper, and Dawn parks near what looks like a crazy medieval time style purge fight between gang
Yo, that'd be kinda
Leo
sick.
figures out that the bullet must be how they found them, so he rips it out and confirms it's a tracer. That's when those rowdy fantasy
That's not what a
fans
tracer
see the
round
van
is,
and
James.
surround it. Things
Oh,
are looking
no, the
pretty
comment
bad until
section.
Joe gives a whistle that turns out to be a secret
James
passcode
does not
that
know
he
a
knows
ton
from his
about
past on the
guns.
streets.
I've
Naturally,
noticed
they
that.
safely open the door and make a trade with a dude who just wants some medical help for his friend. In exchange, the gang members agree to take the tracer bullet to another location for them. So when the Nazi ground forces
And then
track
they
it down
can jump.
and find it, they also find a whole bunch of Crips surrounding
This is
them.
Brazil.
Their deaths happen off screen, but can
Fast
be heard
Five.
through the headphones worn by Nazi in the Sky or old Danziger. And he later lands to find their bodies and confirm the kills.
Okay.
Lainey and Dawn drive everyone to an underground structure that serves as a safe zone for poor people on Purge night. It's run by Dante Bishop, who
Oh,
introduces
cool.
himself to Charlie.
I'm
Run
surprised the
and
government
shows her
doesn't
around
roll in
while
and
people
try and get rid
gawk
of it.
like they've never seen a presidential candidate before. Dante assures Leo that his men will do their best to keep them safe, but that doesn't stop Leo from snooping around. He and Charlie wind up in a room with an assassination plot vision board on the wall. Dante's people are looking to murder Minister Owens, the NFFA candidate for
and
president,
she's gonna
at the
stop
Our
this.
Lady of Sorrow Church, where his annual Purge Mass is taking place. Dante's man Angel tells them they're going to get inside the church using old tunnels installed by George Washington himself.
The original founding fathers are about to fuck over the new founding fathers.
Now, how you like that for
The original founding
Charlie
fathers
doesn't
were
like
very
that at all,
smart
saying she doesn't want to build her
with some
presidency
things.
on a murder. Their
Other
argument
things
is put on
not
pause
quite.
when security cameras show a shit ton of armed government soldiers on their way inside to clear out all their political enemies. Angel sends Leo and Charlie out a back door and through an alley where they hold hands again. I don't think these two know what they're doing to me, man. They just narrowly avoid a CG blade booby trap that swings down in front of their faces, and also pass by a woman calmly sitting on a bench and humming a little ditty next to a burning body that we can go ahead and add up on the count.
We're 74. I think Belko is like 90.
Pickup spot, and
like
once
96.
inside the van, Charlie
Something
says
like that.
they have to stop the assassination attempt.
If they assassinate him, he becomes a martyr. We lose.
Oh yeah, good
That's
point,
true,
Charlie. Hey,
yeah.
also, maybe put your lips on Leo's list. It'll be great. The triage van is knocked on its side by an armored vehicle, and Charlie is abducted out of it while everyone else is still lazing about. The armored van drives off with its senatorial prize.
Dude, when people
Luckily,
take,
Lane
like,
and the Deli Boys promise to help Leo get her back. They figure she's being taken to Our Lady of Sorrow
Like the
for the
Brinks
NFFA
trucks,
Purge Night Mass.
you know,
That's
that
where
they use
Earl
for
and his Nazi crew
hauling
deliver
money.
her to be tied up on a dolly in a sacrificial frock. The final touches to her festive appearance are done by NFFA page boy Harmon James, who looks like he spends his free time making out with Dementors. Out on the church's altar, Minister Edwidge Owens gives a passionate sermon preaching the benefits of the Purge and leads his NFFA congregation in a chant of Purge and Purify.
It doesn't seem like there's a ton of people. You only see like 5 rows of people.
Harmon James brings out another dude tied to a dolly named Lawrence, who the minister says will make a healthy Purge sacrifice for them and all their weapons blessed with holy water. Harmon gets the honor of being the first Purger of the evening, and the skeletal lickspittle stabs Lawrence over and over with a short blade, while Minister Jones gets super fucking into it behind him.
Okay.
Shit, maybe these two are the ones.
Are these supposed to be... Are these supposed to be like the side effects of people that enjoy the Purge?
Outside by the church's tunnel,
like this is what does to their
Dante
their
tells
mental.
them that they're no longer on a mission to assassinate, but rather one to rescue the senator. The two of them, Laney and the Deli Boys, and all of Dante's men go through the tunnels and get ready to strike from various points inside the church. Leo sneaks his way behind a security guard and shanks him in the back a couple of times, putting him down silently before sneaking up on another guard up in the church balcony.
Nobody hears this? I guess they're yelling.
I'm assuming kills, even though we only see him throw a punch. I just don't think he'd let that guy live.
Yeah,
the
no, he
minister
wouldn't.
presents Charlie Roan as the next Purge sacrifice,
But they can't
and everyone
get rid of
goes
him.
fucking nuts at the sight of her. All of the party members come up on stage while the minister blesses Charlie with holy water, and head of NFFA Caleb Warren steps up to get the first stab in. But right after he finishes blessing America, a nation reborn,
He gets
Marco
shot.
shoots a rifle from the balcony and lands a headshot on Caleb Warren, murdering him and really messing up the whole altar sacrifice thing they had going on. A shootout occurs,
Also,
giving us
I don't
another
think his
real
head would
not fun
turn
scene
like
for
that.
kill
He would.
counting. But through
He
my
would really just
exhaustive
kind of like
frame by
drop to the
frame,
ground.
It looks as though 11 people get killed.
Also, bro is dual
including
wielding
9
2
security
pistols
guards,
on
a
a
woman
church
trying
view.
to flee down the aisle, and
Kinda
NFFA
nuts.
Press Secretary Thomas, who tries to stab Charlie while she's down. During all of this, Minister Jones
Also, they're
manages to
great
escape
shots.
with some guards, and Harmon James keeps his cool and collects a couple of guns before making his exit. More NFFA guards rush out and fill the balcony with an unholy spray of bullets, but after our heroes
They're
take
really gonna
cover,
miss
they hear
all of
new
those?
gunshots ring out, followed by silence.
They're
When they
going
look
right
again,
through
they see Dante
that
Bishop
wood.
and his forces standing over the bodies
Oh,
of
nice.
all those replacement guards. And since it looks like they killed them all, I'll add 15 kills to the count.
15?
I think that's how many guards ran
Okay.
out and started shooting up into the balcony.
And they
before
all got
everyone took
one
cover.
spot together.
What the hell are y'all doing up there?
I'm just counting all these bodies, Dante. It's much easier from a higher vantage
That's
point.
true.
Charlie is freed from her bondage, and my OTP is reunited before Dante is told that his men have captured the minister. He heads back to where they're holding him, locking
And
Charlie out
the-
in the process, and passes
Wait,
3 more bodies on the ground.
Oh,
to add
are
to
they
the
gonna
count.
try and
These
kill
were the
him?
men who had been guarding the minister, and obviously doing a shit job of it. The minister
Also, we're in
forced
triple
Dante to
digits.
purge him because
This is
his
a new
wife
record.
American.
Do it! Do it! Yes! Yes!
But instead, Dante capitulates to the senator's pleas for peace.
You better fucking win.
After they find
Hopefully
a
he
bunch
does.
of would-be Purge Night sacrifices in a back room, Dante and 2 of his men go out to the parking garage only to get attacked by Earl and his Nazi gang, who managed
Dude,
to kill
they're
the
still
2
around.
dudes Dante
Stop.
is with while injuring him pretty badly. Leo runs out and provides some cover fire that allows Dante to
Terrible
hop into
place
the
to
car
hide
that
behind a
he
car as
hotwires
well.
in no
Get
time.
behind
He
the
puts
engine.
the pedal to the metal and serves himself up a double order of crushed Nazis, killing
Ooh.
them by pinning them against the wall.
They didn't even think to get out of the way?
Earl, who shoots into the car and kills Dante Bishop,
No.
the only person to have been in all 3 Purge movies. Rest in peace, Dante. Your character arc gave this trilogy a spine. Earl runs out of bullets and drops
That's
his gun,
unfortunate.
so Leo sets
Oh.
his on the ground to have a good
Why?
old-fashioned knife fight. It's a cool
No,
battle
no,
that took
no,
him 5
no,
hours
you-
to
you
shoot,
don't.
and because of Frank Grillo's background in MMA and boxing, he did all his own stunts in this and
Really?
every other scene in the movie. Eventually,
Huh.
Leo's little stabby punch.
I didn't know he was actually, like, a fighter.
Up to and including punching a trench right through Danzinger's cheek. A few more stabs gets Danzinger down to his knees, and with his strength all out of him, Leo finishes off the head white supremacist with a hold back high kick roundhouse to the face. Killed with a kick? I did not see that
actually
coming. In the back
I guess
room,
yeah,
one
blunt
of the
force
people
trauma.
that Charlie helps rescue makes a frantic run for an exit, only to find pointy-faced Harmon James at the
With a
door,
gun.
who shoots him
Okay,
dead with
well,
a shotgun. Talk about
kinda
an
make an
emotional
example.
roller coaster for that dude. Harmon also shoots Marcos in the shoulder.
No.
But when he goes to shoot Senator Roan with the handgun, Joe gets in the way, and the two men trade shots back and forth, both of them taking a whole bunch of bullets before Harmon is killed with a
I thought he was aiming for the senator. Why was he still just fighting that
Joe's
guy?
friends all gather
Oh, he was
around
like
him
one
as
shot
he
in the
bleeds
center.
out, and he tells them everything will be fine as long as the senator wins and changes things. Clutching Marcos's hand, Joe Dixon succumbs to his wounds and dies.
And they're doing this
The
in front
man
of
who
a
just
lot
wanted to
of
protect his
witnesses.
deli, but wound up protecting the most important sandwich of all, the hero that is Senator Charlie Roan. 2 months after the Purge, it's election day, and we're finally seeing some development on the sexiest will they won't they you've ever seen in a dystopian action
there you
horror.
go.
Marcos watches the results come in as an anchor announces
And they're
Florida for
looking at
Charlie
Florida.
Roan, which seals the deal and gives her the election. Probably because her blue wall held. Oh, also because looks like Texas went blue. That'll pretty much do it. Her first order of business is
Texas,
announced as the
California, I
elimination
think
of
New
the
York
Purge,
as well.
Lainey hears on her way in to check the results. She tells Marco she'll come by tomorrow to help him fix up the deli some more, then looks at
Also,
Joe's
2
coach-like
months, and
portrait
they
on the
haven't
wall
fixed it?
before leaving. The movie ends
Also, can you
with
get a better
Marcos
picture
admiring
of
the
him?
stars and bars as the news reports violent pro-NFFA protests, and David fucking Bowie kicks in to sing about how he's afraid of Americans. Go look that song up, because it's dope as hell.
I'm not familiar
In
with
the
David
meantime,
Bowie
I'll show
at
you these
all.
numbers. I voted.
You should vote as well.
116 people died in the Purge election
That's
year,
a record.
meaning The Belko experiment has finally been usurped as the top kill count champion.
I think
America,
number one is
fuck yeah.
Mrs. Blue.
Like all Purges,
yeah.
the victims were full of ambiguity.
That was the second kill count I ever did. I
82
went out of
men,
order. People
8
get mad
women,
when I do that.
26
So
unknowns,
I don't
meaning,
do it
as per
anymore.
usual, whole bunch of dead dudes. With a runtime of 108 minutes, we actually wound up with a kill on average every 56 seconds.
Oh.
What the fuck? I'll give
But
the
that- is
golden
that a-
chainsaw for
was
coolest
Belko
kill
less
to those
than
guillotine victims
1
in
minute?
the alleyway, since they're being killed by a guillotine in an alleyway.
In
That's
the
insane.
2040s,
Machete for lamest kill
guillotine.
can go to Joe, since he got killed by some dude who all of a sudden became the main bad guy for a minute. Fuck off, Harmon James. Go write a manifesto and a Facebook post. And that's it. The Purge election year came out in 2016 and made the most money of any Purge film yet, which is probably why we've
the
got
first
a new
Purge.
one, the first Purge, hitting theaters
Have they done
next
another
week on
one?
the 4th of July. Go see it to support the series, and I'll cover it after it comes out on Blu-ray, because again, that's how these videos work.
Yeah, they
Until
kinda
then,
need
I'm
that.
James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for
Well,
watching.
this was a
week's Kill
triple
Count.
header.
I
It
wanna
was a
thank couple
long
patrons
video.
like
That's
Oliver Iver
almost
Christensen
midnight.
And Steven Sharnico. Chelsea and I are going to try to do a podcast review of the first Purge. Again, remember,
Podcast
I
review.
can't do kill counts on movies until they come out on Blu-ray. Also, since I probably won't do a ranked Purge movies anytime soon, my favorites
guessing-
are Anarchy, then Election Year, then the original. Tune in next week when we start a new franchise. And be good people.
We'll try to. So that was the Purge, Anarchy, and Purge Election Year. Which one is your favorite out of all of them? I don't know. Something about the first Purge felt really, I don't know, natural. Like, it was a new idea. It wasn't like political. It was really just kind of like you, your neighborhood, and people that come into your neighborhood kind of deal. And you and your family in your house. I don't know. It just felt more like relatable, I guess, as opposed to, oh yes, I'm gonna be helping a presidential nominee, or yeah, like you had to get revenge for somebody for what they did. I don't know. That's just the way that I see it out of all of them. But apparently the first Purge was the worst. I could definitely see why people think that from a movie-going experience and just pure entertainment. I could definitely see why the other ones are better. But yeah, this was the Purge. All three of them triple header. It was a long video. We're actually approaching 58 minutes on the recording right now, so I'm going to have to edit this video as well as a 4-hour video, and then I still have to record more videos tonight. But I do read every single one of your comments. Leave them down below. We are also less than 3,000 subscribers away from 100,000 subscribers. So if you're not already subscribed, I really hope that you can subscribe. And I read every single one of your comments. Leave them down below. But until the next video, take care and keep the music.
We were playing